Here's a quick update on the winter storm that's ongoing across the area from the National Weather Service in Norman. This update was recorded around 1:30 on Monday, February 25th. Looking at the Oklahoma Mesonet plot from 1:10 this afternoon, looking for the freezing line, and that's roughly where that yellow line is on the map. To the left of that line, almost all the temperatures are at or below freezing at the surface. That line has been progressing fairly steadily through the morning and some of the early afternoon, but it's kind of stalled out now, and just along and just west of Interstate 35 and along Interstate 44 in southwest Oklahoma. Do expect some more cooling and some more movement of that line this afternoon, but not too rapid, and so we won't see temperatures dramatically falling over central Oklahoma until later this afternoon. Through 4 o'clock, we expect where the snow is happening now to continue across all of western Oklahoma and much of western North Texas. We've seen the snow transition occurring today, and some fairly heavy snow out along I-40 toward Clinton and Weatherford, and certainly up toward Woodward, lots of heavy snow. And snow has begun down in southwest Oklahoma as well. The transition zone is that purple shaded area there that extends from Medford down through western parts of the Oklahoma City metro area and then down toward Duncan and Henrietta, Texas. That is the zone through 4 p.m. where we expect rain to continue to change over to snow. The transition will be slower than it was earlier today. Like I said, the freezing line has kind of stalled out, so we're not expecting as rapid a change over to snow along and east of I-35 as we thought might have happened earlier this morning. The yellow shaded area will continue to see rain showers, and especially on the western edge of that yellow shaded area, we'll see some sleet mix in with the rain as well. Biggest problems, obviously, for travel this afternoon and into early evening would be in the blue shaded areas, and also travel problems developing in the purple shaded areas. Have a complex weather situation going on. This is a satellite image, the water vapor satellite image, and this measures basically how much moisture is in the atmosphere. So where you see the pink and lavender colors, that's very moist air, and where you see the oranges and reds, that's very dry air. We've seen the heaviest snowfall occurring from the central Texas Panhandle up through northwest Oklahoma and extending into south central Kansas. And we can see that reflected on the water vapor image where the most moisture is occurring. If you notice the shading, the orange and red shading, that represents dry air. And we've been watching this trend through the morning and early afternoon and this is typical with a system like this where you have some dry air wrapping around the system, and where that dry air begins to get in to the storm system near the surface especially, that's where we'll see the snow taper off or possibly even end. This would be very detrimental to snow developing over central Oklahoma if the storm system was moving off to the northeast. However, in this particular case, it's moving off toward the east. So we don't think that this dry slot is going to have a dramatic influence on just completely shutting off precipitation over southern and central Oklahoma as the storm system moves east. However, what we are thinking is that quite possibly for Oklahoma City down toward Lawton and Point south and east from there, looks like the brunt of our snow is going to come on the back side of this storm system as it moves around. I'll just refer to that as being wraparound precipitation. And that's not the area where we would expect to get, significant snowfall. Even with that, though, we are expecting that some areas will still experience some snowfall across the metro area. We haven't changed this map. I think the northwestern half of this map from Ponca City down to Altus and points north and west from there still look pretty good as far as snowfall amounts. But where you get to I-44 and south, as we've been saying all along, that's where more questions are with regard to snowfall amounts. So it's quite likely still that northwestern side of the Oklahoma City metro, and I'm referring to places like Piedmont, Cashion, Okarche, Guthrie, out toward El Reno would still be looking at some significant snowfall, maybe 4 to 8 inches of snow in some locations, whereas south side of the Oklahoma City metro, this would include possibly more Norman, Purcell, Noble, down toward even over toward Tecumseh maybe, the snowfall amounts will be lesser. So again, this is what we've been saying all along, that there'd be a tight gradient in the snowfall on the southern edge of this, and we think that's going to end up being the case. And it also is looking like probably the bulk of the snowfall for the Oklahoma City metro area and surrounding region would probably not be until very late this afternoon or possibly even after dark. So that's good news for rush hour and travelers getting home from work and school this afternoon, but it is going to be a little bit later than some might have expected. Continue to look at or check out our webpage, weather.gov/Norman, for the latest information. We'll provide additional information via these video updates as we can. But again, a complicated winter weather situation, as it seems like it always is, and we'll keep updating the information throughout the day.